Stress is essentially a fear-based reaction that is linked directly to that part of the brain called the amygdala. That houses the fight, flight and freeze mechanism in our brains. This is specifically designed to deal with threats. Unfortunately, while we've evolved into the beings that we are, this part of our brain has not necessarily caught up, and it's triggered by many varied sources and issues. If we're talking about studying and exam stress, the classic fear is the fear of failure. Before we go into some specific tips on dealing with stress, it's worthwhile asking yourself this one question. Who is it that is responsible for putting you under this stress? Now, when I ask myself this question, the answer is almost always me. If you own up to the part that you play in the stress that you're under, then it's a major breakthrough in starting to deal with stress. Because if you're responsible for creating the stress, you can also take responsibility for uncreating it. Now, that said, any in-depth, realistic coaching session to deal with your stress would take longer than we've got in this video. So why don't we move on and take a look at some of the tips that can help you manage your stress levels and stay focused. Tip number 1, breathing. When we're stressed, our breathing becomes shallow and we find it difficult to concentrate on the matters we most need to. This exercise will help you slow down and return to focus on the really important stuff. So sit upright with your feet flat on the ground and breathe deep from your stomach. Deep breaths, counting the time they take. Aim for an intake of 7 seconds and an outtake of breath that lasts 11 seconds. Concentrate only on counting breath in and out and do this 5 or 6 times. It's impossible to think of anything else if you were solely concentrating on counting your breaths. So what this does is enables you to retain the focus that you really need and get the right amount of air into your brain to function effectively. Tip number 2, conduct a whole body tension audit or a body scan meditation. This helps quieten your mind and boost awareness of the sensations in your body. So sit or lie down in a comfortable position and close your eyes. Start by drawing your attention to different parts of your physical body and checking in with how they feel. You can begin at the feet and work your way up to the head, noticing and releasing any tension as you go. A thorough body scan meditation will last around 10 minutes, but you can quickly complete this exercise in a minute or less as a way of bringing your wandering mind back to the physical present. Tip number 3, remove stressors and distractors. How often have you sat down to get some serious work done and found yourself lured into social media and email by the gentle ping your PC makes, tablet or the phone as people send you messages? This links in with another fear we all have to deal with. It's fear of missing out. Now, in reality, those email messages, those silly pictures, the chat rooms, they're all going to be there in 45 minutes time. So switch off all your social media, get yourself focused and promise yourself a 10-minute spell in cyberspace indulgence as your reward for the focused attention you're going to deliver now. This hits 2 anti-stress buttons for you. One is removing a very real stressor to enable concentration. The other is to gain a reward for your hard work. Instant gratification and reward reinforces desired behaviour and it enables you to get back to work quicker and more effectively. Tip number 4. Set your plan and stick to it. Everyone knows that you should plan for success. The old adage, fail to plan and you'll plan to fail, works here. So make a plan that suits your style. This is so important. It's your plan, it's designed for you, so stick to it. And now stay away from friends, colleagues who continually share what their plan is, how well they're doing and what issues they're dealing with. If you engage with them, you will fall foul of being drawn into their world when in practice you need to be in yours. In addition to this, the fatal mistake you can make is to compare yourself to others. The only person you can control is you, so that's where your focus and your energy needs to be. Tip number 5, take the dog for a walk, and if you haven't got a dog, borrow one. This actually hits 3 de-stress buttons for you. It's proven that being around animals can reduce stress. Exercise is a great way to shift your troubles, and being outside and closer to nature has been shown to actively reduce stress levels. If you do this once a day, you will actively reduce the amount of time you spend stressed. Whilst doing this, allow your mind to wander. Think of nothing in particular. It's a positive life skill that we all need to develop to be able to just enjoy what is there in the moment rather than worrying about the past or the future. Finally, Remember the words of Leo Buscaglia. Worry never robs tomorrow of its sorrow. It only saps today of its joy. Thank you.